I should just make a video about this because I've never seen anyone really talk about this topic. Uh, so I don't necessarily fully subscribe to this, but I tend to think that it's the case. You could probably call it the black pill on politics. I think sometimes people throw this idea around, but they don't really give it all the respect of what it really implies, and so I guess I'll just outline it here. What the black pill on politics is, it's essentially that the government is a glorified puppet show, that it's completely theater, and you've heard some of these ideas, but to sort of color in the picture what we're actually experiencing in America and perhaps around the world is a coordinated more or less babysitting routine. So what actually is happening is there's a small committee of people. This is the real politic, and this committee just talk very candidly about reality, and then they choose what to do. And they're making decisions that affect the world. So, for example, let's just take Angela Merkel for a minute. Now, that might be very polarizing for a lot of people to hear that name, just as Trump and Hillary might be. But under the black pill, rest assured that none of these people are real. They're real in the sense that those might be their real names, and they have flesh and blood, but they're not real in the sense that they don't represent any real political authority. They actually just serve the will of this committee. So, you know, well, why would they put Angela Merkel in power, you know? And the reason would be something, because this is all candid, and it's not, they're not solving problems directly. They're doing things sort of inversely. So Merkel's job is of course to import tons of Islamic refugees, or not really refugees, right? They're all military age men. So, but there's a reason beyond merely the destruction of Germany. You know, they don't do this just to only destroy Germany. There's actually a larger design here. Now that's world black pill, but if we talk about America, which is I think more likely, it's it's looking at people like Hillary and Trump, and understanding that neither of these parties actually serve any separate purpose, that they are simply characters that you're meant to feel a certain way about, and inflame your political sensibilities and direct your thought in certain different ways, and ultimately to polarize the population of America. So, but they take all of their marching orders from the same committee, and that's the thing, is that it wouldn't matter if anyone, this is fully black pill. It wouldn't matter if anyone voted. Like, even if everyone just decided to not vote, someone would still be elected president, and nobody would understand how that happened if everyone knew what was happening. So what we're really looking at is a glorified babysitting situation, and it's worse. It's not as good as babysitting because it's more like a prison. They're putting all these people in prison because, which is America, the prison country, because they don't trust them, and so they're babysitting them. It's a prison cell or a cage made of illusions and indoctrination. So it's a prison for your mind, really, is what we're really looking at. So, but here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing about the black pill. Even if you're familiar with these ideas, even if at times you subscribe to them, they count on the fact that at the moment you recognize the black pill, it will not be soon after that they will cast another illusion, and you'll lose track of the black pill entirely. You'll go off the rails saying Hillary for prison or off with Trump's head, and you know, they count on the fact that even if you take the black pill, they can trick you back into the contextual ethos that they desire, and there's no real way to escape the mental prison. And more importantly, they know that you have the perception that everyone else is subscribing to this, and there are many people who, no matter what, will subscribe to it. Basically, there's a huge number of people. If you're under a certain IQ, you simply will not question it won't even cross your mind to question that that the black pill is a possibility. You will simply find it absurd, and patronizing to think, oh, I'm too smart. Basically, I'm too smart for that. That would never work on me. I could never be tricked into believing a mountain of bullshit like that. And so and that's what they want here, is they want you to have the perception that everyone around you is inoculated against the black pill. And that's because if you believe that, then you cannot network under this context. And that's their weakness, is basically, if you network under the context of the black pill, and you network widely enough, then it can be destroyed. This prison system. But they're counting on it working, and it does work. If this is the case, it's obviously working. So, and then there's also shills and sentinels who are out there who, as my name suggests, I mean, it's not just the CIA comments section, but there's you know, I'm looking at David Pakman now, and he just, why do people believe conspiracy theories. Aren't all of these just completely insane? And that's his attitude, which is the same coming from CNN and any liberal news outlet. Not that I'm praising conservative news outlets, because you can look at either. First it was Hillary for prison, and now it's Trump for prison, and all of this is just one great big illusion. Nobody's going to... They're not putting either of these people in prison because these are just meat puppets. They're just actors, and none of this is real. It's just an illusion. And you know, once you fully understand that none of this is actually real, you know that none of it's in your power. And then you get a whole new set of questions like, where's the fucking money? What am I doing this for? Why am I here? Things like that. And you know, I mean, they give you just enough to be angry. I mean, when you really pay attention, you realize there's trillions of dollars missing, trillions of tax dollars that are missing, that actually disappeared, and they can't account for. And the truth is that we've been robbed, but that's all contained within this political lie, because you'll never, and they're counting on the fact that you'll never focus on this. You will always be preoccupied with how angry you are about this candidate, or you know, they'll throw, and it actually is a network of actors and politicians, rock stars, etc. It's one big club. And so, you know, just when you might be getting close to having a profound thought, they'll throw Roseanne at you. And Roseanne said some kind of racist shit, but not really. And we're sure you have something to say about it, right? And you're just like in the comment section, like, Roseanne didn't mean that. That's not what she said. She's not actually racist. Or if you're on the other side, you know, I can't believe Roseanne said this. And I mean, it's all just this big, elaborate web that's meant to basically sap you of all your energy by getting you focused on something that's literally meaningless, or a better way to put that would be within a context that's imaginary. You know, this whole context is completely false. And so, you know, it's you know, I would say that it's quite similar to if you're watching children who are watching a puppet show, and you know, the puppets are there, and the dog puppet starts biting the cat puppet, and you can see that these children are really very quite invested, and even to the point where they're angry at the dog, and really upset that this cat puppet is getting angry, but or getting hurt. But you can see they've watched this puppet show long enough that they forgot they were even playing a game. They forgot they were even watching a puppet show. You know, they're just so adapted to this puppet show that they feel real emotions for these puppets, even though they know they're puppets. And that's what we're sort of looking at. You know, it's like a live action movie that's a game that you're meant to play by having an opinion on and expressing your opinion on that. But at its core, you know, the people don't have any real power. It's not, you know, you don't get to vote whether the dog was going to bite the cat, or, you know, in the puppet show, the kids aren't, they're not influencing the show. The show was, the puppet show was scripted and rehearsed before anything was done for the children. So with the black pill on politics, it's really the realization that you ultimately have no power, you can't change anything, that the system will roll on with or without you, and you know, you're more or less screaming into the abyss. There's no real chance that anything that you care about is ever going to be considered until the corporate masters of the universe decide that it's an issue they want to talk about. And you know, this became really apparent to me when I was very young, but you know, I kind of got black-pilled. I'm not 100% invested in the black pill, meaning I'm open to the possibility that maybe I'm wrong about this, but by my evaluation, yeah, I have never felt as though I've been approached seriously with the ability to change anything about the world around me. It's always been I've been tackled by sentinels at every turn, and there's never been the option for personal liberty. It's always the case that if I want to take my own life into my own hands, that they're going to beat me half to death and throw me in a cage for having the audacity to think of my own life as my own. And that's pretty much the black pill. I just really wanted to articulate it and put the video out for that. So if anyone is looking for answers when it comes to politics, you can maybe refer to this, and just remember, when you're screaming your head off in all caps in the comments section, that you might be doing that in total foolishness, that everything that you're participating in is a complete lie, and there's no hope for real change. You're not changing anything, and you're not affecting anything, and by design you're supposed to be screaming at the person across the table from you, you know. And I've thought about how they essentially, basically, they take two spirits and they fight them, and then they assign you one of them, and they assign the other one of them, and you're supposed to pick a spiritual team and fight the other. It's part of the program. But yeah, so there's a black pill for you about politics.